Zenko Takeuchi. I'm a senior vice rector at the United Nations University, headquarters here in Tokyo. Only one UN organization located, headquarters is located in Asia and also in Japan. And also I'm still serving as a professor at the University of Tokyo, and I'm serving as a director of the IR3S initiative at the University of Tokyo on sustainability science. I still remember the bad memory of the AGS. It was a disaster at the last moment, and I joined to the AGS after finishing the financial support from the Schmidt-Heine. So I only had the bad memory, that no money and no collaboration. But one good thing is that because Mr. Komiyama was involved in this AGS, and he became a president, fortunately, of the University of Tokyo. And he asked us to send a proposal to the JST. And it was the beginning of the new initiative on sustainability science. And fortunately, we could get about 40 million US in 5 years. It was good money for takeoff of the sustainability science initiative at the University of Tokyo. And this is the basis for the future us also. And we are very pleased that under the leadership of Professor Onishi, we are serving as a slave to promote the future us initiative.
Yeah.
One of my concern is that how we could make this future as a kind of mainstream. Because I had a chance to discuss with one editor from the largest newspaper company, and requesting her to advertise our symposium, and then explain to her the contents. And she immediately said, "This is too difficult for the general public. I cannot introduce this in my article." So instead, she kindly used the paper and announced a little bit like this size. And therefore, today's participants are not so big from my perspective, and it's very unfortunate. But anyway, how we could introduce this idea with a more understandable way is a key issue for the future. Because this is not the scientific community's own work, but it's the work to collaborate with the society. So with a very difficult terminology, how you could collaborate with the general public. So this is one of the issues that we need to further consider. And I think that also the problem is that SDGs is too far from the general public. How we could try to ask them to be involved in both the futures and SDGs is crucial issues for us. And I'm thinking that when we talk about the issues that we further need to develop in Japan is how we could collaborate with the general public and also with the politicians. For example, when we talk about the SDGs, they are considered that this is something discussed in New York, not in Japan. This is something for developing countries, not for us. And so we need to change their mindset. So this is one thing. And the other thing, particularly the role of Japan for the promotion of the future is to collaborate with developing countries. We are very strong in Asia and the Pacific, but we are still very weak in Africa and in South America. Particularly Africa, it's the source of the problem in terms of poverty or inequality, the food security issue. So fortunately, UNU has some sort of the relation with the African university. We are forming a network on the education for sustainable development. So, for example, by utilizing this type of already existing network, we need to further develop our collaboration to the African countries. I'm saying why? Because somebody said that 80% of the knowledge related with the sustainability has been created from the rich country, by the rich country. And then if you look at the poor country, less than 2% of the knowledge has been generated in these countries. So there is a big gap between the rich country and the poor country in terms of knowledge generation. So we are talking about the capacity development, how we could really support these people who are suffering from the shortage of the capacity in knowledge generation need to be improved. That is another very important, I think, for us to further develop. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Paul.
You're not going to do it?
Yeah, I already finished.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, and I'm sorry for coming in a little bit late. We got in from Kyoto very late, and I left all my bags and clothes and suit in Kyoto. That's why I'm somewhat underdressed over here. I apologize. I'm Paul Srivastava. I'm the Executive Director of Future Earth. And the remit today is to give a simple self-introduction and your personal wish for the role of Japanese society to promote sustainable society utilizing Future Earth. So by way of introduction, let me just say that my background is in engineering, mechanical engineering, and business studies, and philosophy of science. But I also have started 2 companies and served as a CEO of one of them. And so I bring to Future Earth a sort of transdisciplinary perspective and a stakeholder engagement perspective. And I see Future Earth as an experiment. Many of the things that Bjorn said, things are unclear. We are learning as we go along. And in that learning, I think Japan has a very big role to play. Japan is a unique society in my view, not only because of its high science and technology. In my view, it is because it has, while developing science and technology, it has also been able to retain a respect for nature and a sort of sense of cultural identity. And if we are going to make the world sustainably developed, then we need to not just send technology to Africa or to poor countries. We need to be able to create societies that have an integrity between science, technology, and culture. And so I see Japan's role as being a role model for sustainable development. And a role model that understands transdisciplinarity and has effectively been able to provide a good lifestyle for its own citizens. But the second important role that I think Japan can play is one of leadership. And I know Professor Takeuchi mentioned regional leadership, and we all acknowledge that, but I think it's time for Japan to also provide global leadership on sustainable development. And to the extent that Future Earth is already a global venture with 60,000 scientists around the world, I think we can be very good partners in bringing some of the lessons from Japan to around the world. So we look forward to continuing this collaboration, trying to figure out how to do this right. And we are very grateful for everything that Japan has done up till now, hosting both our global hub as well as our regional hub, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Very cool. Ariel?
Yeah, my name is Mario. I have been lucky. I have been in the private sector doing research with IBM and then trying to do work with the bureaucracy of the UN, with UNEP and UNESCO. My specialty is space and science technology. In UNESCO, I launched a program that was called From Space to Place, in order to remember everybody that space is for the people in the place. That was very successful, and we were able to involve a large number of interdisciplinary activities in the ground. I agree with Paul that Japan, for me, is a very strong leader in Asia. And what we need in Future Earth now is concrete results. I think we can take that leadership of Japan. I know it from the point of view of your Japanese space agency, JAXA. You are very strong in natural disasters in Southeast Asia. One of the main objectives of the Japanese hub is capacity building and outreach. I think we can take that topic to attract more decision makers and other audiences that JAXA is not able to attract with the help of Future Earth. We can derive very nice results that attract the people immediately. Space is very visual, and so for the outreach will be very strong. And in addition, I understand that in our governing council, you have a Japanese representative that has already been in space, so he knows the Earth seen from space. Your astronaut is with us now. So I think we have all the elements to launch a very good project immediately on support to the Sustainable Development Goals under the thematic of natural disasters in Southeast Asia.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mario. Finally, actually, I'm very surprised if our time is already finishing. One of you, that's sort of the getting closing talk, but I request, directly request Mark to have, doesn't need to stick my program, but also he can freely talk for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Please.